Whole wood is steam distilled from the bark and twigs of
It's
the
a middle.
cinnamon. The middle note. Oh, it's a middle note. Okay, and it's related to cinnamon. Okay. We're set up to create our first homemade artisanal perfume. I'm set up with some essential oils here. We have essential oils that are top notes. They're supposed to be the scents that really hit you first, but they kind of evaporate away pretty quickly. Then we have the heart notes or the middle notes, which kind of are like, I guess, the main smell of the perfume. And then we have like the base notes, which are the deeper fragrances, the base notes. And we're really excited to have ambergris tincture, which is an animalic, meaning it does come from the sperm whale. And we also have muskrat. So I don't know if we're going to use muskrat today, but we have 2 animalic fragrances, which could, what they do is kind of anchor also the fragrance. And I don't know, they're just supposed to make it just, I don't know. They're supposed to lend their own special qualities depending on which animalic you use. So we have a very fancy perfume bottle that we ordered off of Amazon. And this is a lot of fragrance, so we're not going to fill it all the way, I don't think. And Lahi loves it because it has little rhinestones on the front of it. 4-ounce jelly jar, I think. This is 4 ounce, it looks like, about it. And with the little 2-part lid. And what we're going to do is use this to do our initial mixing. And then we'll take a perfumer syringe, which is basically a little short syringe. And we have with a little extension, a little extension you could stick on there to suck the perfume into it. And here, you can be in charge of that if it even goes in there. I don't know. Or maybe we could just use the pipette to put it into the perfume bottle, whichever is easiest. So.
Yeah, this is impossible.
Okay, then that doesn't work. Okay, well, forget that. So we have our 180 proof grain alcohol. Now this was a you-know-what to try to get hands on. I went to so many liquor stores in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. And my husband had to go across state lines and went to a liquor store and got Everclear, which comes in other proofs. But I told him to specifically get the 180 proof because that is the only one you can use for perfume making. Isopropyl alcohol will not work because they put something in there to make it smell, and that will get in the way of your perfume making. And it's that nasty alcohol smell that prevents people from drinking that stuff. But this one is very, very strong. There's not a lot of water. I guess the other 20%, or no, the other 10% would be water. But the more water you have, the more of a chance you have that things will spoil and rot in your perfume. So you don't want, you don't want water in your alcohol. And the grain alcohol supposedly does not have a smell, although I think it does have a smell. But it's pleasant. I mean, grain actually has a nice, pleasant smell just on its own, and I think it would add something good, if it adds anything much at all. So, all right. So we were doing a little bit of educating. I downloaded a little bit of stuff, and we have 2 charts here from the great internets that show just lists of essential oils that would be considered top note, heart note, or middle note, and base notes, okay? And you're supposed to select a couple, at least one from each category to create your perfume. I also found this chart, which was interesting, that shows what the difference when you go to a store and you buy perfume, commercial perfume. What is eau fraîche and fraîche, which is like French, all these French terms. Eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, and parfum. What are the differences? And what the difference is the concentration of the actual perfume ingredients. Like Eau Fraiche is going to be the cheapest perfume that you could, or fragrance you could buy, because there's only 1 to 3% concentration of these aromatic fragrance materials, whereas perfume has 20 up to 30% of concentration of these materials. So the more of these smelling agents, fragrance agents that are in there, these materials, these ingredients are actually in there, and the rest is alcohol. Basically, it's diluted in alcohol. The more there is of that good stuff in there, the more money it's going to be, and the more money you're going to pay to acquire that perfume. So it had this really cool little chart of the different, like the range of percentages of the actual perfume fragrance materials that are in these different types of fragrances, or fragrance categories, I should say. So that was very enlightening. But back to the top notes and the middle notes and the base notes, because that has something to do really with what we're doing right here today. And this was from a website. I guess it was from this gentleman's website, because his face is really huge on here. Whoever you are, and I know you have a name, but I think I've seen his videos on YouTube, and he is like another YouTuber who does artisanal fragrances and educates people about making perfumes and fragrances. But he said the top notes should be, I don't know if it should be this, but it says fragrance pyramid percentage rules, myths debunked. That's what it's labeled as. 25 of your material should be top notes, 35 should be middle notes, and a good percentage, 40%, should be your base notes. So I did not know that the base notes really are at the bottom of the pyramid. They should comprise like most of it, or the majority. Well, the majority is the top and middle notes, but that's like a huge heavy percentage right there. We cleaned out all of our containers with isopropyl alcohol, washed it, and then just in case some of that fragrance from the isopropyl was on there, we wiped it out with the grain alcohol. So we did like a 3-stage cleaning, because any kind of microbial thing, I don't think microbes would be even able to grow in 180 proof alcohol, because that doesn't make any sense to me. But because I'm just freaked out about, making stuff for our bodies, I just cleaned it out really well. Then we have this really interesting evaporation pyramid chart, which says that the top notes evaporate like within 5 to 15 minutes. Heart notes can linger for about 20 to 60 minutes, like an hour. And then the base notes actually are not the heart notes, but the base notes are what stick with you for 6 hours plus. So that's gonna be what most people smell. And the one thing I did not mention that I want to mention is, like, I really think that your own personal chemistry affects how perfumes smell. Like, if you have a lot of acids in your skin and your sweat, what you eat, with the foods from your culture, if they surround you every day and you eat a certain ingredients in your cultural foods every day, that is going to come out in your personal fragrance, your body smell, along with the perfume you applied on top. That perfume is not going to just make you smell like just that perfume. You're going to smell like a combination of that perfume and who you are. Own unique body chemistry is going to meld and blend with that perfume, and the person who wears the same perfume next to you is going to have a totally different smell than you, even if you use the same perfume, whatever that may be. So I think that that's something that should definitely always keep in the back of your mind, that even if you do create a perfume, it's going to be different for everybody anyway in the end, because of their own body chemistry If you take medication, I take medication, that's going to come out. It's going to seep out of your pores. That kind of stuff will affect the smell of the perfumes you wear. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's not going to be the same for everybody. Nobody is like this neutral, smellless, blank sheet of paper.